Hello guys, welcome back to the next tutorial. So continuing with the variables, let's discuss about numbers. This is the first one that we want to discuss. So let's open our Python, and what I already did is created one more file, Python file called numbers, and I'm just going to work on this. So guys, I would just recommend the basic convention is to always name the files with small characters like numbers all small. So it's always recommended. It's just the best practice suggested by Python guys and all that. So let's start with numbers. So this is the first formal introduction of the variables, right? So let's say, how do we define the basic decimal type? So it's all the same. There's no, as I mentioned, if you're coming from another programming language or if you know something about data types, other languages have something like int and string and all those things. Python doesn't have anything. It just understands on its own. So we just need to give the name, any name that we like. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna give a name, uh, int num, something like that. This is the name that I'm just giving, and I'm gonna put the spaces between the equal sign, and then just gonna give it a number. So that's it, and that's how we define a number. It's the easiest way I can imagine, because in a lot of programming languages they're strongly typed. You have to say what data type you are defining, and then it has to match and all those things. But in Python it's really smart. So if for the other number types like floats, which are the digits after decimals, what we need to say is, let's say float num, I can say. So this is the normal convention. We kind of, when we are attaching two words, joining two words, we use underscores in Python. So float underscore num, that's what I'm using, or it just got deleted. And I'm just gonna say something like maybe 20.0. So as soon as I give dot in the value, Python is really smart to understand that it's a floating type, and we do not really need to mention that it's integer or it's float, and that's how easy it is. So for this, let's do this. Let's try to print these things to make sure that we are printing, right? So I'm just gonna do that, and I'm gonna print the float num as well. So let's save it, and actually I'll have to create one more configuration, right? So because we have a new file right now, so let's maybe, is there a way to copy something? Yep, copy configuration. So we'll just name it as numbers, and we will change the file to numbers, right? So click apply and okay. So now let's run the configuration called numbers. So that's what it does, right? It just understands that it was an integer, it printed out 10, and it understands that it's a float, it printed out whatever we gave it, right? So Python is smart enough. Let's do a couple of math operations. Pretty much everything is available in Python, whatever math operations and all those things are available. So let's kind of define a couple of variables. Let's do a equals to 10 and b equals to maybe 20, something like that. And let's do, I'm gonna define as maybe add, and I'm gonna say a plus b, right? And then let's print add. So what I've just done is that I defined a couple of variables. A gave it a value 10, b gave it a value 20, and defined a variable called add and assigned a value equals to a plus b, which is the sum or addition of a and b, right? And then I'm printing the value of add, which is my this variable, right? So that's what I'm doing. Let's do maybe subtraction also. So let's do b minus a, and then print out value of sub, right? And let's do multiplication, right? So let's do multi, something like that, and let's call a, and asterisk is the sign for multiplication, and b, and then let's print out this multi, right? And finally let's do some division as well. So let's say, let's call it div, and b slash is the sign for division. So these are special characters, guys. Asterisk is for multiplication, slash is for division, and I'm gonna give a, and then just print the value of div. So that's all I'm doing here. I'm just doing all these multiplication, additions, and all those things. So let's run this code and see what happens. So that's what it's doing, right? After the first two print statements, after the first two things, these ones, I'm assigning 10 and 20 to variables a and b, and then the first thing I'm doing is addition, which is 10 plus 20 is 30, then subtraction, or maybe you know what, I'll just print out something so you know that we have new thing started. Otherwise the initial thing is confusing, right? Because we want to make sure that this is the up thing and we are starting from here for the math operations. So let's run the code again. So after that, just to make it more neat and clean, so the first one is addition, 10 plus 20 30. The second one is 20 minus 10. We have reversed it. 20 minus 10 is 10, and multiplication, 10 multiplied by 20 is 200, and then division, 20 by 10, it's 2, so 2.0. That's what it's showing, right? So that's pretty much it. Like pretty much all the basic operations, not just basic, there are a lot of operations, math operations, all are available with the numbers. It's very easy to define a number type, nothing special needed. You can just say name whatever you like, right? So what we are doing, we just gave a name of our choice, both the places, right? We just gave a name of our choice here as well, a and b, and here as well, add, sub, multi-div, all these are names of our choice. So don't think that these are from Python. I can just say my choice, this is my choice. So we just have to change this after that, right? So my choice, I can just run it again and it's exactly the same. So these are just the variables that we're giving based on our wish. So this is pretty cool. Python is smart enough to understand all these, and all operations are available. So that's pretty much it I'm gonna say for this tutorial, guys. Practice a little bit about all these small operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, and in the next lecture we're gonna take a look at a couple of more math operations. So just define some numbers and get back to me if you have any questions. And definitely the file is gonna be there on the web, so you guys can download and refer to it. So stay tuned for the next lectures, guys. Thanks for attending this one.